How's it going, guys? I am Matthias and welcome to Reading Your Comments, and today I am reading your pet peeves. Now this episode gets just a tad hostile, and for that we're going to counteract that with the next question for a future episode, which is, what is something that you witnessed that inspired you? And hopefully that will be a pick-me-up episode that I'm looking forward to in the very near future. Also, by the way, guys, I shoot 2 of these videos at a time. Don't freak out when the next episode isn't the question that I just asked, all right? So if that makes sense to you. Also, remember to stay to the very end to hear my pet peeve because it's pretty random. I got a swivel chair now. So. My biggest pet peeve is when people touch my things without asking. I think that's everyone's pet peeve. My pet peeve is when people make sucking noises with a straw when the cup becomes almost empty. Just leave the cup alone. What will you do with those extra 3 drops of juice? You know what? Sometimes it's a milkshake, and it is not acceptable to leave any milkshake left in the cup. Just saying. Drink it all. My pet peeve is when people on Google Plus say, repost this blank or else blank will happen. That's so annoying. Am I the only one who doesn't know what a pet peeve is? Yes? Okay. A pet peeve is when your pet just really peeves you off. My biggest pet peeve is when someone says something hypocritical. Yeah, that's really annoying when someone tries to correct you and they're wrong and you had it right in the first place. A pet peeve I hate is when ads frequently pop up on an app that requires tapping almost as much as the ads show. My biggest pet peeve is when you're about to fall asleep and your mom bursts in, turns on the light and says, "Where's the peanut butter?" And you tell her it's in the kitchen and then she leaves the room. She leaves the light on and leaves the door open like, oh my gosh, can you not? How often does your mom do that? To be a pet peeve, it's gotta happen often. My biggest pet peeve is when I'm hanging with my guy friend and people ask if we're dating. When we say no, they're just like, well, you should. I know, I'm so glad. What are you doing?
Oh, was that part of the sketch?
Yeah, that's part of the sketch. I know, I'm so glad we're friends and not anything else. I know, right? You're not that attractive, but you're okay. I'm glad we're friends. Hey, you guys together? Well, you should be. My biggest pet peeve is when I'm in Spanish class and people don't say Spanish words properly. Like if they're using an American accent and try to say something Spanish, it makes me so frustrated. Although that is why they're in Spanish class, to learn it better. My biggest pet peeve is when you're with one of your friends and you try to talk to one of your friends, but they keep interrupting you. Then when they finish talking, you're about to say something, but they start talking again. My biggest pet peeves are when people sing or whistle while a song is playing on the radio. Once my dad was whistling to the song and my sister and my mom were whistling to the song. I yelled, "Oh my gosh, everyone shut up. You all are so annoying. Just let me hear my music." My biggest pet peeve is when I'm talking to someone and they're doing something else. I have to repeat the whole thing because they were doing something else. My pet peeve is when someone takes a giant bite out of a Kit Kat bar. No, you're supposed to break them into 4 mini bars. My pet peeve is when my brother sings "I'm a cool guy" in the shower really loud. It really annoys me. I'm a cool guy. I'm such a cool guy. I'm such a cool guy. And will you shut up? I'm a cool guy. My biggest pet peeve is when people chew food but don't close their mouth. P.S. I love you. My pet peeve is when my friend and I agree for her to come over and then she never comes over. And I try to text her, but she never answers. It's happened 5 times already in 3 months. Sounds like your friend has a bad case of the flakiness. Tell her that it's pretty messed up that she's doing that, or just get a different friend. Whenever I have a pimple, my mom wants to pop it. OMG, for some reason, 90% of your subscribers have very bad grammar. Okay, maybe you weren't paying attention to that video that you commented on, but it was called Our Past Diary Entries, and we were all like 6 years old, so give us a break. Although you do have a point, and for you guys to get featured in reading your comments, spelling, punctuation, grammar, it's so crucial. The ones that I'm reading now are the best of the best. So if you really want to get on RYC, that's super important. Just throwing that out there. Please read in a British accent. I will do my best. My pet peeve is when I start walking up the house and my neighbor's dog runs as fast as they can to attack me. I need medical help. I don't know what part of Britain that was from, but definitely had a twang to it. When someone says library, oh sorry, no more British accent. When someone says library instead of library, I had to ask my friend, hey, you wanna go to the library? And her response was, you mean library? I got super upset for some reason. My pet peeve is when fake YouTubers make a real channel and copy the actual famous and successful YouTubers' videos and say that they are the real person, and everyone one believes them. The fakers are a bunch of wannabes. So that's like someone taking all my content and then like just re-uploading it, but making the channel look exactly like mine. That's kind of scary. Biggest pet peeve? People. Just people. I don't know, I really don't have pet peeves. I'm a happy person. Good for you, little papa. Good for you, little papa. My pet peeve is when people don't sneeze on their arm or in a tissue. Another one is when people use their fingers to claw out food from between their teeth. One of my biggest pet peeves is farting noises. This is mostly due to my little brother and dad. You don't like farting noises, but you don't mind actual farts? When your freaking parents tell you to get something for them even though they can get it themselves. Listen, Nutella pancake, I'm almost positive your parents know they can get it themselves. It's just they have a kid, so why do they need to? You can do it for them. Squeaking! If you squeak near me, I will go crazy. Back seat driving. When something is uneven, I want to stop what I'm doing immediately and fix it. My biggest pet peeve is when people get into large groups in between class and just talk. Or whenever they really slow down and you're behind them. It makes me want to wring their neck. Gosh, that's hard, I have tons, but my biggest one would be people copying me. For example, my brother and friends steal all my phrases, even my original ones. See, when you're a YouTuber, you want people to copy you because then you're the inventor of something fun and cool. My pet peeve is when someone turns off the Wi-Fi. My dad does it just so I can't watch you. Ooh, you might be watching me a little too much. Just kidding, that doesn't exist. My biggest pet peeve is when someone brings something up and doesn't finish what they were saying. It leaves me so clueless. My biggest pet peeve is when someone scratches a piece of paper with their nails. I had to sit next to this kid in homeroom who would do it just to annoy me. Ooh, I hate that. Ooh, I hate that. Ooh, I hate that. One pet peeve of mine is also if someone knocks on my door and then just comes in. I know I'm guilty of this too, but at least wait for me to say come in. Yeah, privacy is kind of big in most people's lives. One of my biggest pet peeves of all is when people ask me, are you China? First of all, not all Southeast Asians are Chinese. Second, it's not China, it's Chinese. Also, I'm pretty sure it's not even a sentence. That is not a sentence, you are right. And can you please tell me in the comments below where you live? Because I'm very curious as to why people are saying this. My biggest pet peeve is when people don't like my videos or they give me mean, rude comments because they find me very annoying. Show some respect, I'm 11. I get the same thing, man. Like, people are subscribed to me and like within an hour of me uploading this video that you're watching, it'll have like a bunch of dislikes. And I'm like, if you're disliking my video, why are you subscribed? I mean, this is like the 10th one of these videos that I've done. Like, you'd think by now you'd be like, all right, maybe I don't like this guy anymore and just unsubscribe. I don't get that. Oh well. Speaking of likes, like this video if any of these pet peeves you identify with. Hashtag relatable, am I right? Wow, people aren't gonna like this video now because I said that. My pet peeve is when I'm texting my friend and they spell words incorrectly. That's my mom. My mom spells words incorrectly on purpose. My biggest pet peeve is when people can't use proper grammar or spelling. It's just ugh. If you're going to write something, at least write it properly. Sometimes autocorrect is the culprit though. My biggest pet peeve is when people make random noises over and over again. My brother does it all the time and when I tell him to stop, he just keeps doing it to drive me crazy. One of my biggest pet peeves is poor customer service. Annoying! Annoying! My pet peeve is when people compliment me because it's really awkward and one time I was in front of my crush and he said I looked nice and then I fell backwards and hit my head on concrete. When my dog pees in my bed. Pro tip, don't sleep with your dog anymore. In the bed, you know what I mean, don't be a perv. My biggest pet peeve is when someone takes a pic of me while I'm eating because it's always an embarrassing photo. My biggest pet peeve is when people talking about something, but then when you ask them, they say, I don't want to talk about it. So I had just the worst day today, it was just awful. Aw, what happened? I don't want to talk about it. My biggest pet peeve is myself. Aw, Galaxy Soda, don't do yourself like that. My mom playing the harp, it's so loud. My pet peeve is when my friend's dogs pooped on my feet. How long were you standing still? My biggest pet peeve is when someone's using the word ironic in the wrong way. Also when people spell wrong. What? Oh, this is the proper time to say something as ironic. Oh, okay, clever you. My biggest pet peeve is when someone's wearing clothing with a day of the week on it and it's the wrong day. Like their shirt says Friday or something and it's like Monday. They're like, I'm just looking towards the weekend. My biggest pet peeve is going through a door before other people, so I end up holding the door for what seems like forever as people pass through and don't even say thank you. P.S. You're welcome, rude people. Yeah, that's like every time I choose to hold open a door for someone, they're just like, they just walk through and you're just like, Excuse me. When someone says literally and they don't know how to use it, man, that drives me crazy like a lot. And it started by watching How I Met Your Mother. I literally don't think you understand how literally works. My biggest pet peeve is when people play with their/my hair and chew it. What? People play with your hair and chew it? Who's chewing your hair? My biggest pet peeve is when I'm watching a Matthias video and my mom asks me to do something. Seriously, it happens at least 5 times a day. So annoying. Jay, oh, so many times you're watching my videos. I appreciate that. But I mean, chores are a part of life. My biggest pet peeve is when people don't knock before entering a room, especially the bathroom. One time I was in the shower and my brother just barged in, and it not only scared me to death, but I almost slipped and fell in the shower. When you want to eat something and people are judging you like, oh, that's really unhealthy, or oh, that's gross, you shouldn't eat that. Wow, dude, I don't care that you don't like it. I'm still putting sugar on this piece of bacon. Why are you messing with your bacon, dog? I take serious offense to that. You don't need anything on bacon. If anything, bacon's used to make sugar better, not the other way around. All right, guys, time for my pet peeves. And these pet peeves are slightly random, slightly annoying, and I think maybe you'll identify with at least one of them. Okay, first, the one that you'll identify with. When you're using an iPhone or a computer and you're about to click on something and like the interface updates and everything moves and you click on something you don't want to click on. Ooh, I hate that. I hate that so much because I'm like so fast, I can click something before the web page loads and then it loads and I click something else. Pet peeve number 2 is when someone touches my chair while I'm sitting in it. Ooh, that really irks me. It's like I have this like swivel chair right now, right? So if someone was like put their foot on the bottom or their hand on the back of it while I'm trying to move it and I can't move, I get super claustrophobic and I'm like, get away from me, everyone. You just gotta do what you gotta do, am I right? Remember, guys, the question of the day for a future episode is, what was the last thing you witnessed that inspired you, that made you feel good about humanity? If you guys enjoyed this, consider watching the previous Reading Your Comments or the next one, and subscribe because I'd love to see you around here more often. High five.